Welcome to our tub. Come on in. It's warm inside, and there's always room for more.
This podcast contains adult material and is intended for mature audiences only. If you're under 18, grab your rubber ducky and find another tub. This one's not for you. Hello and welcome back in the tub for episode 109. I'm Mr. Berg.
And I'm Mrs. Berg.
And this week we are welcoming back into the tub for some other lifestyle conversations. We're not going to quite say what those are going to be. You're going to have to stay tuned and listen in as we work through, some interesting conversations on the lifestyle with Ranjan and Chelsa. How are you guys?
Hello. How are you guys?
We're doing well. Welcome back into the tub once again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good to see you guys.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
too.
definitely. It's been a little while, so everything been good since last time we sat down and talked?
Yes.
Fun, right?
Things have been busy. We had a hell of a year last year. 2023 was definitely one for the books.
Love adventures.
Yes, we did Bliss for the first time ever. Bliss Cruise.
Nice.
I think we did a total of 14 or 15 takeovers.
Something like that.
I think 15 takeovers,
Yeah.
I think. And this year we're hopefully doing our first resort trip.
Yeah.
Nice. What resort are you looking at? Can you share that?
Maybe,
I think Secrets in Hito.
Okay. Yeah, and we've heard a lot about Secrets. We've looked at that. We've actually been in some conversations about doing a hosted trip out to Hito as well. We have not been out there, and it's something that we've actually talked about with someone that's been on the show. A travel agent company who, we've really good friends. We've become great friends with. So yeah, that may be on the agenda here. We've actually teased that a little bit as well. So cool. I mean, and Secrets. I mean, it's everything we have heard is it's a fun place.
That's what I've heard too.
Yeah. I think, I'm doing some passport stuff right now, so I have to send my passport into an embassy. So I think we're going to do Secrets while that's processing.
That'd be
And then when I get it
Yeah.
back, we'll do the Hito trip.
Yeah, head out to Jamaica. Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, as we talked a little bit, kind of before we started recording, there's a few things we really wanted to kind of sit down lifestyle-wise and talk about today. And the first one, so the first half of this episode, I think we really want to talk about a lot of listeners, people in the lifestyle, you have clubs, you have house parties, but then you have hotel takeovers and events.
Yes.
We've done a lot of those in the past. You guys have really been detrimental and done a lot of those recently. You've kind of taken into that. But we really want to talk about what goes into that. Not sure that the guests that are going to these hotel takeovers, I mean, they're phenomenal. You go in, you check in, there's themes, there might be seminars, there's dance parties, there's meet and greets, there's pool parties. There is so much there.
All sorts of icebreaker activities, and of course, hotel takeovers, the parties, the fun ones are designed to get people moving around and out of their little groups and meeting new people in a way that's organic and fun. That's one reason we've been hosting for Friction for a while. That's one of our strengths, is getting people a little bit out of their comfort zone, not in a bad way, but in a way that they get to sit across from people that they normally wouldn't,
There's a line of anxiety. You don't want you want to get out of that comfort zone, but not anxiety filled to get out of that comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like where they feel comfortable.
Yes. It's a delicate balance. Make sure they still feel comfortable, yet they're still getting. They still feel confident enough to put their their foot forward and engage people.
Put themselves out there.
It's definitely a very interesting puzzle because each group of people are different.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Even from different locations too.
Yeah, different like geographic locations. Like for instance, we noticed Southern people tend to prefer hanging out over a drink, and then out towards the coast, like the East Coast, people bond on the dance floor to like high energy EDM mixes.
Yeah, especially like Jersey, they're like party animals.
And that's what I was going to say. Yeah, you can see that, and we've talked to other people in the past and other guests that have done things, and it's whether it be region, whether it be just groups of people, it could be age groups that you really have to. Everybody has that difference. And as we've done Exotica in Chicago, in New Jersey, that's a party-ass crowd. When we go in Chicago, it is a different mix of people at and that's even just at Exotica. So, knowing your crowd, I hate to say the word, and this is just from my background, knowing your customer base.
Yeah.
It may not be the right term.
No, it makes sense. Like, it's still, a group of people in a certain location are going to act differently than another, even though they're all swingers.
Yeah.
They have different, attitudes. And like you said, age groups even. You have to find that right balance for everybody.
And of course, while it's very easy to come to think of all the people as, extended family
and friends.
That is weird because it's a weird way to put it because, of course, you have sex with each other. But, it's easy, they are, at the end of the day, paying customers of a company that they're paying to make these situations happen.
To have a good time. It's entertainment. At the end of the day, it is entertainment.
Yes, exactly.
It is. Oh, yeah.
So, while obviously I never would want to reduce anyone to feeling like they're just a customer, they are indeed customers in that, they are paying for a premium experience and you want to make sure they have it, that they're getting bang for their buck, so to speak.
Exactly, yeah.
Or a couple bangs for their buck.
Exactly. All the bangs for their bucks.
Bangs for their buck. Yeah.
So, as you look at setting these up, what can you share? What goes into the back end of this stuff?
So, I will say, so we've hosted for a couple companies now, and we've also done takeovers by other companies as customers. And I will say there is so much going on for the people that are literally organizing these parties. It's, I don't want to say it's constantly kind of a clusterfuck, but there are a lot of moving parts, and there's constantly things going wrong, and people behind the scenes trying to fix things and get them going.
It's fast moving, thinking on your toes.
Yeah, and if you've done a good job, they basically don't even know that you did anything at all, right?
Like that's happened.
But there's constant stuff going on, from selecting a hotel and negotiating a contract with them and getting them to lock it out for you. That's become much more complicated over COVID, right?
And we've heard that from people especially with what we're talking about doing.
Yes.
You're having a bunch of, open sexual people taking over your hotel, and there's the thought of, what if somebody down the street hears about it? There's that negative connotation.
Yes.
That we've heard from people have that.
even with the hotels too, that like we're gonna make a big mess because it is a big party.
Yeah.
But we clean up after ourselves and stuff, But
generally,
it's not bad. Like you wouldn't not imagine like how clean it is the Sunday after. You're like, okay, like that's not that. Like some of these hotels love us because of that. But some are apprehensive because they're afraid of like the mess and
because they see frat party. I mean, for lack of better terms, I hate to be, but they see Animal House, frat party, freaking, bras
That's
flying everywhere and panties and beer cans and
exactly. They're like worried at some point there's going to be a goat walking across the street. And quite frankly, some of these parties do get pretty wild, But the greatest thing about lifestyle people is that, there's... How do I put it? I feel like more often than not, we all pass the shopping cart test. Right?
And I was going to say, the respect level of the majority of the people in the lifestyle is exactly that. Yeah, we're not coming to trash and this. Guess what? We're respectful of everything and the opportunity.
And they're not even like, people don't steal stuff, they don't take stuff, it's like very...
Yeah, don't worry, you're going to have your towels, all of your towels when we leave.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to launder everything.
Yeah. Who knows what might be on them, but they'll be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, like, for the most part, like, as I walk, I'm usually one of the last people to leave the hotel. I've literally left the hotel on a Sunday at like 8 p.m., 9 p.m.
We have, like...
Because it took us that long to clean up and...
Like Halloween?
Yeah, Halloween, like, packing up all this stuff. And so we'll be walking the hallways and we'll see the state they leave these hotels. And, like, generally they'll strip the sheets and leave them on a pile and, which reduces the amount of work on the housekeeping staff. They literally just go down with their cart and dump all the sheets in a big, in a big cart and, take it down to be laundered. Like, it's, for the most part, they've been amazing. The rooms aren't there isn't trash everywhere.
Even, condoms and stuff, we try to do the best we can. So that the maids and stuff don't have to do that stuff, right? Like the housekeeping. Yeah. Because that's,
Yeah, who would want
That's a whole nother step. You walk into a room and there's used condoms all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah, but so here's the thing though. Their normal guests will do stuff like that.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
And that's the whole thing. And the lifestyle people, we tend to be very conscious of it because we don't want to be that asshole. Whereas you'll see people who rent a room for like a risque rendezvous and they don't care at all.
And especially because we are going to go back to these hotels for another takeover, hopefully,
the guests understand that. It's almost like, and you hate to even put it this way, but the first thing that comes to me is from the Boy Scout days. Guess what? You leave it better than you found it.
Exactly.
Leave no trace,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's... I know, from us when we go and, when we go to Exoticas, we typically have like a meet and greet and things like that. And it's, when we leave, I mean, I'm wiping down tables and making sure that it is clean. That is just the respect that the people within the lifestyle have.
For the most part,
Like, super, they do think about what's going to happen after,
Yeah. And especially if it's a nice hotel as well, because guess what? They want to come back there again.
That's the thing. And I was going to say, even at one of them, at least one of them, they have like a church service on Sunday. So, there can't be madness and nakedness and messes because that's where other groups come, It's not just us. And then they're enjoying this hotel and coming back to this hotel, right?
Although, not this last day, but so the last time we were at that particular hotel, that on Sunday morning they have a huge list, they have 7 or 8 churches that take over the conference rooms, starting at 8 a.m. onward Sunday, and a lot of us are
the hotel we stayed in
this
year in
New Jersey, the one we stayed in. It was just like
there
for
were
Exotica.
a bunch.
It was, walk downstairs. I'm like, ooh, no,
like,
church service. And I'm like, oh, man, filming OnlyFans, filming this on Chatterbait. Oh, shit, church service downstairs. 6 of them.
Right.
I know. It's like, it gets us to curb our behavior real quickly. We're just like, it's not time. Okay, I guess.
Yep.
I guess we're gonna watch out for churches.
It's over.
Yeah. And actually, I think it was
hide the dildos and
and actually it was that, and I think the hotel we actually stayed in this year too. There was not far away. There was a little league baseball tournament, so there was little league baseball team staying in a hotel too. It was like, this definitely ain't we're realize what you're doing. Keep the noise level down. and again, we've had that, as you say. Locking down the hotel, making sure it's there. We were at a hotel takeover. And I remember this. It was in Ohio. It was outside of Cleveland. So we went and it was a takeover. We're like, all right, awesome, cool. This was years ago. So we go in. And
that was not a good weekend for me.
They had a pool party and they had all this stuff going on. So they had this pool party and they're doing games. And this woman comes to the door of the inside pool. And she's like, I'm coming in here with my kids.
You're like, no.
We're like, wait, what do you mean? Well, they didn't block off the whole hotel. There were still guests.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
And then this hotel was against the highway. They had an outdoor pool and a patio area. So we're outside on the outside patio area. I'm having a cigar. We're having some drinks during the day. It was summertime. It was nice. There was someone in a cock cage and a leather harness. And he was holding onto the railing, and his dom proceeded to start flogging him. Out the door on the side of the hotel opens up, and it was a mother with her daughter and dog walking the dog. It was like, oh, shit. So you have to be aware of that and be able to work with the hotel as well to be able to say, hey, look, I mean, again, years ago, I think we were at a hotel here in Pittsburgh, and they only sold half of the hotel for the event. Well, the party and the dance was in one of the ballrooms, but the ballroom, you had to walk through the lobby, through the restaurant, down a hall to the ballroom.
Oh, wow.
And they only sold a half of the hotel. So, it was like, you got to think about this.
Yeah. And that's why Friction's awesome, too. Like other takeovers, too. They have security by all the doors so that they know, they can, watch the perimeter.
No outsiders come in, sure.
Because people do, they try to walk, even, food delivery sometimes trying to just walk in and they're like, no, gotta stay out there, and they'll come and get it outside,
Sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And people do try to come stay because most of them are right on the highway.
Sometimes, I don't remember the last time I booked a hotel not through a website. But there's still a group of people apparently that will physically walk into a hotel to inquire about a certain date.
If there's a room, or something.
Rate check,
sure.
Yeah.
Or even check in that night, and I'm like,
specifically, people will be like, I just want to know what the rates are next week.
And you're like, oh.
I'm like, no, you can't go in.
No.
Yeah.
You walk past 15 signs that say it's closed for a private event.
Just a private event.
We can't have you in here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you have to call, come back Sunday, whatever.
Yeah.
Just pick up the phone and call.
Yeah,
right?
Why would you not just call?
Yeah, and the majority of people, even my father now has a smartphone. All that stuff's right on your phone.
Exactly.
Just look on the internet.
You're going to get a better rate,
without a doubt. So setting up the hotel and all that is definitely a big thing. You have all the back end stuff. decorations, theme planning. So, when you're looking at, whether it be icebreakers, games, is that done well in advance, or is that kind of, do you go through a guest list and say, okay, it seems like we got, this age group of people or these people? How do you go about kind of, really thinking that through? Is there a process?
Well, it's a lot of it is trial and error. Like, for instance, so we one of our things that we used to do constantly was speed dating, and now we're like easing back off of speed dating because, for the most part, we've gotten the crowd pretty well blended. There are newbies there, so we'll host speed dating specifically for the newbies, right?
Okay.
As opposed to like trying to host the entire group there.
Yeah.
And then of course.
Oh, sorry.
It depends. Like we'll even make changes on the fly because we'll be like, oh, it looks like the pool party is going to take a lot of heat this time. Like it looks like it's going to be hopping.
Yeah.
It's going to shrink the need, for instance, speed dating, which happens at the same time.
Sure.
We back off on speed dating. We start supporting like pool games and stuff like that. A lot of times it you have to feel it out in the moment. But then like for instance, St. Patrick's parties, we like to do like drinking games.
Yeah,
of course, you got to, yeah.
Beer fest. Yeah, we did a beer fest and hosted a beer tasting and pairing.
And that
nice.
Because everything gets stale after a while. If you do speed dating every single time, at least half the crowd is people that go like us, like to most of the takeovers.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, let's.
Well, we vet the people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it is kind of all in feeling it out, and we like to try different things and see what works.
Yes.
Also, if there's like, most of the time we do a meet and greet, but then like speed dating or different games, even if meet and greets, we like to try to.
So going over the RSVP list, that's definitely a step in the process. Okay. But generally, it's more down to the overall theme of the event. Let's see, what else have we done?
Well, in the way back, there was like pole classes. There was like what else was there in the days?
Classes.
The one that I like to do the like a Champagne Girls meeting sometimes on like the Saturday morning, which ends up being like 12 or 1, but it's just the ladies at the takeover, so then they can we can socialize with just them and like have champagne, coffee. It's a little different, so
that's really good whenever there's a lot of first timers at a party.
Yeah. Because if the lady is comfortable, then the couple's most of the time going to be comfortable. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like it's all led by women, as we all know.
So the champagne and coffee meet and greet, ladies only. That's really popular.
Yeah, pool parties can be huge. Just obviously the time of the year, because the summer pool parties are gonna be way bigger. But like even some of the inside pool parties now have been getting a lot bigger because someone's actively hosting them. So then they're bringing people and playing pool games.
So it's down to the space too. Like for instance, we did 2 St. Patrick's parties last year. One hotel we were able to do the beer fest games. The other one we really couldn't.
Yeah.
So the main focus became the beer pairing and tasting.
Yeah.
But we did the shape of the hotel because like we weren't allowed to do anything where people had their own alcohol on the first floor, so the conference rooms were off limits.
Because they have
the
bar.
Sure, from a liquor license standpoint and everything. Yeah.
And the staff, I guess. But even like the hotels too, like the space.
Yeah. So there's a lot of factors to go into planning it. Summertime, obviously, we get outdoor time, which is nice.
Nice.
We've played like a massive 40-person Twister game outside in the courtyard.
Oh wow!
The booths, the pick-who's.
Oh yeah.
Whatever, like. See if you can identify your partner's boobs or something like
We played so in an adequate sized pool. We played musical Dicks.
Oh yeah.
Which was a great game.
Nice.
And it was amazing.
That was a good one.
Except you don't want to be one of the last few guys in there.
Yeah, because women will go to grab. Sometimes a little too hard.
The last few that are in there because they have a competitive edge.
Exactly.
they get their cock whether the cock is happy about it or not.
Yeah, and again, like you said, it's about keeping it fresh. Again, people are paying for the entertainment, for a good time. So hey, if you have, again, for lack of better terms, a bag of tricks and different games, icebreakers, events, then awesome. You keep people coming back.
Yeah.
And it switches up the crowd sometimes, like different, even rooms that are hosted on the party floor and stuff. Sometimes if they switch up, different people come here and there, and different themes in different rooms and all that.
Well, one of the things that's always popular is like you'll find on every party floor, you'll see a Dare Jenga or Sexy Jenga.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the gigantic ones now. They Jumbo Jenga have become really popular. And then sometimes people write dares on them too.
Yes.
Instead of just playing the regular, Jenga.
Yeah, boy, that takes us back to. Wow, what was that? That was our first orgy. Somebody broke out the Jenga, and it was like, oh yeah, there's shit on all of these. Let's go. Yeah.
You know what's funny is even though the prize is usually something you want, like losing Jenga is probably a good thing when it's Sexy Jenga, but I've actually been very impressed with how good lifestyle people are at Jenga.
They're so good at it. They've played it all their lives.
Well, I think there's competitive side.
Yeah.
Well, and it's steady fingers. You're able to work your fingers.
Exactly. Fingering skills.
Yeah. It's about the fingers.
Yeah, because it's they get very into it, even if it's just the Jenga game.
So we had a house party, and we set up Sexy Jenga on the kitchen table, and I was shocked at how high this tower got. I ended up having to take the chandelier and tying it to a curtain rod to get it out of the way.
Oh, wow.
Because people kept stacking it higher and higher and higher.
Insane, how long that lasted.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
nice.
nice.
The end involved sex.
Oh, yeah, you want to get to the end.
But the competitive nature took over once again.
It's so funny.
See, and last time we played Sexy Jenga, we only got kind of halfway through because that was the point that...
Was it body shots? Oh, no, it was the strap-on.
Yeah, it was someone needs to use the strap-on, and the response it was 4 couples, and the response was, who the fuck has the strap-on? And they literally looked at us and were like...
Us?
You dirty motherfuckers. All right, let's go. And that was it. Jenga was over.
That was the end of it,
People get scared off.
Yeah. Jenga was over. Clothes were off.
Right, exactly.
Yep. Jenga was over. Clothes were off. And that was the end of the night.
Well,
or that was the beginning
right.
of the night. Yeah.
Beginning of the next phase.
Right.
There's this company called DV8.
Oh yeah, they have some good stuff.
They are awesome people.
We know them very well. Yes.
Yeah, they make amazing stuff.
Yeah,
they're
Sexy Pong, and then
they have the Pong. They now have
Portable
their
glory
hole. They are awesome people. They are at all the Exoticas. We have become great friends with them. He may like me now. He didn't
as long as the next time you see him, you don't pull out another bottle of bourbon.
He didn't like me in D.C. the second day because he was son of a bitch.
Oh, they polished off.
Robin Nicole or something? I don't know.
It is
Luke and Kim.
Luke and Kim, yes.
Luke and Kim, that's it. They sent their SDC cards with the box.
It's Luke and Kim, and so the Friday night of Exotica, New Jersey, or DC. We rolled in and we went to the host hotel. We saw them and we hung out with them in the lobby, and it was about 12:30. I cracked a bottle of Jefferson's bourbon.
3.5 hours later.
At 3:15, he looked at me. I looked at him and he went, "Son of a bitch, this bottle's gone. What the fuck?" And we literally
And,
just
right.
sat there BSing, and we saw him the next day at the convention, and he was like, "Oh man, you're an asshole. I am hurting." So that night when we got to the hotel, I pulled out 2 bottles of bourbon, and he went.
Oh no.
Actually, I knocked on the window of the hotel lobby. He was sitting inside. He turned around, he looked at me, and he closed the blind. So, but they are great people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we know them very well. And yeah, they do have some fun games.
Yeah, we picked up a couple of their expansion decks this weekend.
Yeah.
I plan on
One said like swingers, right?
yeah, one's the meat and mingle expansion, and then the other one is like the pineapple something.
Something really, yeah.
Okay.
I like supplement the normal decks that we already have. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
switch it, something different.
Cool. Well, and again, so there really is. There's so much on the back end when you really dig in and work on setting up these hotel takeovers to make them successful. We talked about the parties and things like that. That doesn't even include any type of food offerings or any type of buffets, any of that stuff. That all has to go into this planning.
Yeah.
Something like this literally needs to be planned 6 months in advance.
Beach party.
So,
Right?
generally,
It's a year, like a big.
Yeah, I was going to say, even to book a hotel, you're probably a year out to book literally a weekend at a hotel.
Oh
yeah, that's true. For the big parties, the ones that are like are going to sell out, you want to get those up early. You want to set the date at least a year early. People can make plans, line up sitters, all that kind of stuff.
And even to get the hotel staff ready to make sure you have enough bartenders and all that
Yeah.
stuff. That's a lot of planning in between too. Like,
Yeah, you're right there, because it's not just the party, who's throwing the party. It literally is the hotel, because now, guess what? You have a hotel full of people that are eating and drinking. They're not just transients that are staying for a night and leaving. They want to party until you tell them last call.
exactly.
And
the
even after.
Yeah, until they go to their rooms and they have their liquor there. And
then that's the thing. Like, what was I gonna say?
Oh, well, so at Bliss, one thing that was pretty entertaining was every time that ship made port, they had to buy an entire new bar.
It's insane.
Literally, that ship of people drank that ship dry every 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Every time they're like, all right, we need to buy one of everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, a lot of people don't leave the hotel, so you have to be prepared for food, drinks, all that stuff.
And yeah, exactly. If you're going there for a hotel takeover, you're staying there. You're not looking to get in your car and go shopping and, I'm going out to lunch. You're there.
Our it's kind of funny because so we always give people tips on how to succeed at a takeover. Number one is generally squeeze in a nap.
Yes.
Because a lot of times the parties go late, and we're not all 20 years old anymore.
Nope.
Right.
And there's nothing more disappointing than hitting a wall, but seeing this party raging on at and having to leave it.
9:30 at night, 10 o'clock at night, and you hit the wall. You're like, oh shit!
Exactly.
It's just getting going.
Exactly.
Get some fuel.
The two is we tell people to do icebreaker events, not skip them, because your best chance at making those connections early on and breaking that ice is at icebreaker events. And then the third one is order food in. Because
bring snacks.
literally, when all said and done, you're paying for a hotel for 2 days or whatever, and you're paying for admission to this party, and there's hundreds of people there that literally want the same thing you do. The worst thing you can do is set up a date with one other couple and leave for hours.
It takes so much time.
Because once again, when you leave and you go, to eat at another restaurant, a lot of other people from the hotel do it too. And those hotels get slammed.
And even vanilla people, because it's Friday, Saturday
night, yeah.
Sure.
You're going to be sitting there for 3 hours.
Yeah, you just spent 3-4 hours across from one couple when there were 600 couples back at your hotel
Exactly.
that you could have been networking with. So that one of the things we suggest that people do constantly is like, pay the price premium, have the food delivered, you eat it quickly because, you're really there the food's really just there to keep you energized. You've got a lot of work to put in to have this fun that you're about to have, So
even if you get a drink with someone rather than go out of the hotel to get dinner, that's easier to meet someone and hang out with them.
Yeah, you can have your speed date at the bar over the course of a drink,
Over the meet and greet.
That way, worst case scenario, you're out 15 minutes and not, 3-4 hours.
Exactly. And then obviously stay hydrated.
And that's what I was going to say, liquid IV or Gatorade or something. Yeah, you better make sure you're doing that.
Us, like energy drinks, too. If we need extra energy, we make sure we have like a thing.
Oh, the caffeine and energy drinks, yeah.
Because making sure you can make it all night. Because us as hosts, like, and we get tired too. I get tired. He doesn't get as tired.
Oh no, I get tired. But those coffees definitely hit differently at a hotel takeover.
Yeah. Or like a Bang energy drink. You're like, I need.
Right. Cool. Well, those are great tips because, again, if somebody's going, you don't realize, as you're doing these events and you're moving and you're running and you're meeting people, time flies. And you don't realize, I didn't have lunch. I've had, 3 cocktails meeting 3 different couples. But, I probably should have a bottle of water at this point and balance myself out.
We kind of like stock water, too, in our host room so that just in case people need it, right? And then even like bringing...
Well, we've never walked away from a hotel takeover with extra water.
No.
So no matter how many cases of water you walk into one with, by the time you leave, it'll be gone.
It's gonna be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and even making sure you bring enough, especially as women, like all the outfits, all the lingerie you're gonna need to like change into or switch out or have options if you don't love what you bought. There's a lot.
So there's a lot, but great insight. And again, for the listeners, just the realization that there is so much that goes into the back end of these prior to you walking through the door for you to have the best experience that you can make it. Because at the end of the day, yes, as planners, as hosts, as everything, yes, a lot goes into it. But you know what? There's a lot of it that, as a guest, you need to put into it as well to get out what you expect to get out.
Exactly, right?
A lot of people will attend their first takeover and they'll kind of try to be wallflowers and, just try to soak it in and get their feel for it. But honestly, unless you kind of put something out there, you put out some feelers, you're not going to get a lot out of them.
That's the thing. Eventually, you're going to have to make that first move because if you're standing against the wall, people aren't going to see that as welcoming necessarily either.
Yeah, same thing at clubs. Going to lifestyle clubs. It's you'll notice. I get it because the thing is that, especially for someone that's new to the lifestyle, walking in, it's kind of like a high school dance all over again, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to get out there and start making an ass of yourself, and you want to like kind of observe and try to figure out what the lay of the land is. But we recommend, definitely do your due diligence, but at the same time, definitely don't be afraid to introduce yourself to other people because while it's intimidating walking into a room full of people you don't know, the thing is, swingers are some of the nicest people you'll meet.
Yeah.
And people are going to be like, no, don't talk to me, and you're going to miss those opportunities if you do. Like, you'll go home and be like, oh, I should have talked to this person. I should have asked this person this question,
Yep.
It's all about being direct, even though it's really hard. And we get it. I remember, like, at the beginning, it's scary.
You can't just stand next to the punch bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Unless you're adding something to it.
Every time we go to a club that's out of town, I will actually, like the next day, I'll be like, watch, in the next 4 hours, we're going to get a bunch of messages being like, we saw you last night, we wanted to say hi, but we didn't.
Every time.
And every time I'm just, Why didn't you? You
Right.
should have.
You're
you
right
know?
there. We were at the same place. Who knows when we're going to be there next?
Exactly.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like, oh,
You have to take that
sucks.
chance, you know?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're going to take a short break with that, and then we're going to come back and have a discussion on a project that the two of you guys have been working on,
Yes.
and dig a little into that. So, again, we'll take a short break, and we'll be back shortly. All right, welcome back to the second part of this week's episode. We are still here discussing some lifestyle things. And again, as we kind of talked before we started recording, our guests have really kind of started digging in and working on a project. And this project and what they're doing is really interesting. It really, I think, fills some gaps, and can help give some clarity to both newbies and some veterans within the lifestyle, as you try to decipher terminology.
Yep. So one of the things that we've been working on, we kind of always wanted to, tell our story. Chels is a writer, to begin with. By trade. And we were like, well, we should put something out there about our adventures and misadventures.
It's something that we love.
Yeah, it's something, and, and then eventually, as time went on, we saw that there was a demonstrable need for maybe a central defining kind of work, right? Something that was available to everybody and kind of set in stone what definitions for terms are, what the terminology is, and there's almost a lot of people actually have told us a story when they first started trading messages. Someone's like, "Do you like BBC?" And they're like, "Yeah, I love the British Broadcasting Company." And they talk about BBC for hours, and then eventually get proposed to, and they're just like, "Whoa, where did that come from?" You're like, "Well, that's not what we meant by BBC. We're not talking about the British TV channel."
That's too funny because that came up earlier this week.
Oh, shit.
In a conversation I was having with someone, and they were like, hey, look, this goes back to jobs and interviews and things like that. And they were like, look, if they say, they want to get in your head and BBC, they're like, in your end, that's boobs, bourbon, and cigars. So totally different in the lifestyle and in
Exactly.
even in the adult entertainment, in the porn world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people don't have those basic. Once again, in the porn world, not everybody that enters the lifestyle has as in-depth a knowledge as others do.
Sure. Exactly.
With porn and specifically the terms used in porn.
Yes.
And so, what's funny is actually, we've been researching a lot about the lifestyle in general, the history of the lifestyle and swinging in particular, and a lot of terms in the older books. Actually, and this is something that we haven't really talked about, but a lot of terms come over from other places, like for instance, with adult escorting.
Okay, that makes sense.
For instance, they talk about French and Greek. Those terms are pretty much deprecated now because one, to refer to any ethnicity that would be considered considered racially insensitive, right?
Yes.
But of course, Greek refers to say anything to do with analingus or whatever, and French is oral, right? And those terms came from, like, for instance, other adult industries and some less socially accepted.
Well, and in a broad term, sex work.
Yeah, and sex work.
Yes.
That's changed a lot.
And yeah, so you're saying the terminology, it makes sense. Sex work to the swinging lifestyle, which is still, it's not sex work based, but it is what occurred in sex work.
Yes, you're still describing the same acts and things like
exactly.
that. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, certain terms are, like I said, deprecated because they would be considered racially insensitive now. And but sometimes people do still refer to them, and people would have no idea. Something as simple as like, we have friends that told us a story, and this is actually in the introduction to our book. These friends of ours who live kind of far away, they travel to our hometown and to the club. It's the closest club for them, and so they drive an hour and a half away, right?
Like 2
and
hours.
so almost 2 hours. They're used to driving 2 hours just to go to a night out at a club.
Wow.
And so one day they were on a website for a different club that's even farther away. It was like, I think a total of, so it's 2 hours from here, so I think it was a total of 4 hours from them, right?
Wow.
And they lined up a date with this couple, and they discussed, they're like, so what are you, like, this couple was new, and they discussed, like, what their comfort level was, what the new couple's comfort level was, and they set up a soft swap date, right?
Okay.
And
that's
that,
we know what we're getting.
yeah, it's like, okay, not much is going on. We have the free time. We'll drive 4 hours. I mean, we'll see some sights, and we'll make it worthwhile. But whatever. A soft swap date is fine as long as we connect with this couple, because they seem to be, our cup of tea. They drive 4 hours to find out that this couple thought soft swapping meant girl play,
And we're like, ugh.
and they're like, yeah, and they're like, what the fuck? Like, we traveled 4 hours. Like, the husband essentially said, I drove 4 hours to sit in the corner by myself. This is terrible.
Like, why?
But it's because there's no, because of the nature of swinging. And now, granted, it's coming more into the mainstream.
Yeah.
Now,
still like to keep it down almost, right?
But
like,
there's no universally accepted Webster's or Merriam-Webster's dictionary,
Sure, of terms, and it's grown. The people that there's been such an increase in people getting into the quote unquote lifestyle since the pandemic. We've talked about that in the past, that during the pandemic, people were sitting at their computers, were sitting at home, starting to research, starting to have conversations. And so there's been that increase, but it is, and it's funny because earlier we talked about Reddit. And there was a post on one of the things on one of the swinger boards on Reddit, and it was literally about like soft swap, this, that, and what does that really mean? With all these people dabbling into it, they don't really have a clear, concise terminology, without a doubt.
Exactly.
And then so I'll also go out and say this. This is going to be kind of unpopular, but a lot of the people that are kind of leading the charge and introducing people to the modern lifestyle aren't as well versed as they ought to be, because there's no central authority worth handing out diplomas and say you've graduated to this level of swinger or whatever.
You're a master swinger.
Yeah, exactly. And so we've seen some of the current social media influencers saying some things that are just like it's incredible. Like, my jaw has dropped.
Yeah, it's total misinformation, and you're like, there's no way to figure out that that's wrong unless you get in a situation or you talk to veteran swingers, or like.
But
how would someone know that that's even wrong if they're brand new?
Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the thing I had said earlier too on this Reddit thing was, this person actually was like, well, everything that we seem to be finding as a couple is that soft swap is kind of what everybody wants and is the biggest out there. And it's like, well, you tend to see newer couples getting in their parallel or soft swap.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think
at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
but I think at the same time, full swap is still the majority, not the minority.
Yes.
And a lot of, as I read down through, were people saying, well, what kind of questions did you ask? What were, as you talk to these people and you're saying, oh, soft swap. Well, okay, well, what does that entail? And it was all over the board.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And that's the tricky part. Like, it's, defining that and figuring out what's the main definition, so it's not confusing.
So there is an element of crowdsourcing in our book. Like, so we're writing, of course, it's called, I don't have the title in front of me, but the short title is it's Swingtionary, right? And,
nice.
Copyright.
Thank you. Swingtionary.
Uh-huh.
And then well, actually, I must, hold on.
I have it.
I have it here somewhere. Hold on. Am I still there? Do you still see
Yeah,
us?
you're still there.
All right, good. Sorry, I browsed away on my computer. It is the Swingtionary, a quick and definitive reference to swinging relative to non-monogamy.
All right.
That's been a big term too, like the ethical non-monogamy.
ENM, yes.
But that can encompass like so many things, right?
Yes.
There's
So ethical non-monogamy or non-monogamy in general, because of course right now people are the current discussion is dropping the word ethical in front of non-monogamy because it implies that there's non-ethical non-monogamy, which
and that like non-monogamy is unethical and
or that or
so I'm trying to figure out, but I'm like at the same time, like if you're doing it unethically,
you're cheating.
I think we're splitting hairs.
At the end of the day, the ethical, I think from my end, what I see is ethical non-monogamy is you're a couple, you're understanding and knowing together.
Exactly.
Non-monogamy is you're just cheating.
Yes, exactly. So my perspective is that the word ethical implies that all parties are consensual.
Exactly. Yes.
And are fully informed
Right.
and consenting to.
So then a better term would honestly be like consensual non-monogamy.
Yeah.
For instance, like bigamy would be considered non-monogamy, right? But like that's not consensual. Yeah.
And
polygamy is different.
Yeah.
but it's still like
Generally, polygamy I think has the consent of all the different wives, whereas bigamy doesn't. I think.
something like that.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, at the end of the day, the ethical non-monogamy has really been a word that you've heard so much more.
Yes.
And again, we've referred to that in the past in some episodes as that is the ethical non-monogamy is the center of a spider web.
Exactly.
And there's so much.
It just branches from there, or it's the root of a tree, the trunk of a tree.
That's a good way to put it.
Because when you now you have poly, now you have swinging, now you have BDSM and kink, and and each of those has so many branches coming off of it.
Yeah, because
It's like, and they continue to grow. The branches just continue to navigate it. Good luck.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, we're hoping our book will make things easier for a lot of people getting into things.
Exactly.
And we're hoping it'll also start a couple conversations, even among those who've been in the E&M lifestyle for a while, that, allows them hopefully it makes it easier for them to explain to others where they are. For instance, they can point on a chart and be like, this is us.
Well, even if you define yourself, like in the beginning, if you're straight or bi-curious, bi-comfortable, That's a lot of different.
So there we go.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So bi comfortable, bi curious, bisexual, and bi-passive are all
Bi-passive.
4 terms that we defined in our book.
Because there's a lot to that, and you can talk to like 5 different people, and there's 5 different definitions.
Exactly.
Yes. And when we kind of got in 15 years ago, you were bi-curious or you were bi. And again, as it's kind of increased and they've added these terms, these new words have come in, and it's like, okay, well, you know what? Yeah, bi comfortable. Yeah. Well, what does that mean? We've had people ask us, well, you know what? Our term for bi comfortable is, guess what? If Mrs. were bi comfortable, she's fine with you going down on her, but she ain't going down on you.
She's not going to do the same, right?
Exactly. There's no reciprocation. She's fine with you doing it to her, but don't ask her because that ain't going to happen. Okay, fine. That's our term. Is that the correct term? Is that everybody's term? Who the hell knows?
And even bi-curious, like, does bi-curious mean you're just watching or thinking about it, or you're actually going to jump in and try something, you know?
Are you going to be a pillow princess at that point?
Yep. Well, and
Isn't that more?
well, and I was going to say at the start, that's what you considered yourself, right?
Bi-curious, yeah.
Until the first bi experience, and then it was literally the next day. She looked at me and she went,
Change that profile.
"I'm fucking bi."
That was me.
Okay.
We put straight, I think. And
Yeah,
then
we're straight.
By experience, and I was like, yeah, I'm definitely bi. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Now I feel like there is this is something that we touch on, that a lot of times I feel that there are women that are maybe pressed to be by like either husbands or just social pressure or whatever.
Sure.
I think that's where a lot of that nuance comes in with the bi-passive or or for instance, like with Chels, like the stigma was, at a certain, when she was growing up.
When in high school and stuff.
If you were bi, that was a very negative thing. Not proud enough to be gay or whatever have you.
It was like it was a bad connotation or something if you're not a lesbian or gay or straight. Like what's bi? You're everything.
It was a less forgiving time, and they really would.
They would judge you for
just
calling you a lesbian, and that was not a bad thing. But at the time, it was like
it was social destruction.
Very
It was something that that shamefully was just not accepted. So I think a lot of times, a lot of people's hesitance come from that, or they actually just aren't bi, and that maybe they just feel pressured into it. Which
just most women.
If you're straight, you're straight. There's nothing wrong with that.
Maybe they just haven't tried something too, like me.
Well, and in the lifestyle too, I think there is that feel or that myth that the woman has to be bi for us to be able to hook up with people, or again, you look at, and I'm sorry, I don't want to sound like, this is like I know everything, but at the same time, I'm sorry, the majority of guys' fantasy is see two freaking women together. So yes, does that come from pressure? You hate to say that in the lifestyle, again, because there needs to be, a total understanding from both parties and consent and everything. Exactly. But again, is that you need to be with a woman if we're going to be in the lifestyle.
Right.
So
a lot of women are bi.
Exactly. Well, so what's interesting is I feel that bisexuality, especially among women, are overrepresented in the lifestyle.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Sure.
And naturally occurring bisexual women may be, say, 40-50% women, right? But in the lifestyle, it's more like 95% of women identify as some version of bi. And my pet theory is that a lot of times the limiting constraint of getting into the lifestyle is the woman's comfortability.
Yeah.
And I argue that a woman that wants to explore that side is more likely to be open to opening their relationship as opposed to being protective.
Yeah.
Right, which is understandable. I'm not saying that
that's true.
in a bad way.
Yeah. That's the easiest way sometimes for people to open up.
Yeah.
Their
Sure.
relationship. And it's like, I think too, like if you really, if people really got to experience, not even the lifestyle, but like a bi, experience, they might come out or be more comfortable with it. But in this lifestyle, we get to do that and then experience it and see what happens and go through different things and say, I like this, I don't like this, right?
Yeah. Well, I think so. A big part of once again, the female has reluctance to indulge themselves in lifestyle. I think that comes from like a lot of the social programming they undergo. Like you
Especially
think like. For instance, Lifetime movies are like the exact opposite of what we do, right? And they have that basically that has effect on people, and and it with
Lifetime and the Hallmark Channel.
Exactly, right? That's really what I'm getting at. I don't think that like there's some inherent, that comes from like some genetic code or something. I think it's the way that we've all been socially programmed to feel about relationships, and we have
societal norms.
As we get into this,
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, it is. It's societal norm,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I've used that term a good bit over the last couple episodes, and breaking those societal norms that there's a generation that has them. I think the younger generation we're starting to see really doesn't. The younger generation, it seems like, is just like, yeah, fuck it, who cares?
Yeah.
But there is definitely that societal norm in the, I'm going to say, mid to early 30s to the mid to late 40s.
Like the millennials and like the ones above.
I think like Gen Z.
Yeah.
Which again is ours. I mean, literally, I'm 5 days away from being 46 years old. It was the societal norm when I was growing up. And we talk about that. I mean,
So it's really interesting. Until we started researching this book, I didn't realize that we were actually kind of at a low point at currently. We've been, of course we'd seen that, the days of the huge national swinger convention were behind us, right? The last time they had the big Las Vegas swinger convention, I think, was like 2010 or something like that, 2012.
Yeah.
They used to have like this massive convention with 3,000 people. Now the biggest party is like Naughty Nolans, right?
Yeah.
Which is
cruises.
Or the cruises.
Yeah.
And but I feel like we're at a point of inflection and we're on the uptick.
I think so too.
With how this new younger generation is accepting of open relationships and non-monogamy in general.
Yeah, because it's almost like normal to them. Like they grew up with it and like being more accepting of it at least, right?
I feel like polyamory is getting the level of acceptance now that it did when you were younger and you're saying, like, you know what I mean? You grew up with this.
Yeah.
I feel like from that, like, we had a high point, like, early 2000s, and then it dipped slowly then, partially probably due to COVID and, people locking everything down too socially. Like, dating has changed dramatically over the past 10 years.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Like, it's adapted to the digital age.
So, people ghosting and just behaviorally even, right?
And then, of course, I think on the upswing, it's like alternative sexuality and, like, alternative relationship
Social
models
media stuff
are becoming much more accepted again.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it, too, is, as you said, we've gotten into that technology age. Well, back in the 90s, early 2000s, what did you do? You went out to a bar, you met people. That's how you dated. That's how you found people. You had drinks, you this, you that. Then technology came in. the world of the swingers websites and Tinder and this and that has grown. Then the pandemic hit. And now even it's, again, for myself being in the restaurant business, people are not, like, restaurants and bars aren't open until 2 a.m. anymore. People aren't going out to meet people, to have the social interactions. It's like those late night things are still there. So that's changed, I think, the whole aspect of that. But from the Twitters and the social medias of the world, you now have that online dating world, but you have the online sexuality right in your face saying, hey, this is accepted as well. And that is that generation in the 20s to 30s. And it's, our generation, the two of us that are in our mid 40s that are still technologically advanced and understand technology and are like, oh shit, well, this is okay. We were raised that it's not.
Yeah.
But look, here it is on Twitter, on Reddit, on whatever it is. So yeah, this is cool.
Yeah, it was crazy. Even me, like, it took a lot of social programming, just coming from, like, a Christian background, like, Catholic, and then, like, just growing up in my parents' era was totally different, like, I just had no idea it was even a thing, and then coming to the lifestyle, I'm like, wow.
Well, what's funny is your parents were probably raised by swingers.
Oh my god, right?
Yeah.
Way back.
I mean, that's what we discovered in this book. One of the books that we've been researching. This book
is called Wife Swapping.
Yeah, so this book was it came from surveys in 1957 to MR Magazine, which is basically masculine reader. So it was
Men's Health.
Men's Health. Yeah, it was more like along the lines of Maxim Magazine, right?
Yeah.
It's like smutty, but like not really smutty.
Yeah.
Like,
conservative
enough, right?
Well, no, it was like it wasn't Hustler.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't Cherry or Swank.
Yeah.
It wasn't Hustler. It was just like, they would have exciting stories that allow people to fantasize or whatever. But it's not even like letters to the editor from Playboy or Penthouse or whatever. It's not even that. It was more like, Maxim Magazine, but what we found interesting was that, like, so they credited the urban sprawl, right? The expansion into suburbs.
Yeah.
With the growing number of what were at the time swing clubs, much like bridge clubs, right? Like they were literally just informal little groups of couples that would get together to trade their partners. And
the Suburban Housewives. Holy shit!
Exactly.
It started in the 50s.
Yeah, it was crazy, and because I would have thought it would have been in the 70s or the 60s.
They talked about it,
but it was in the mid 50s that these guys started.
It's like ultra conservative times.
I know, and then this is like Pleasantville we're talking about.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, this is Pleasantville, Desperate Housewives. I mean,
exactly. It's crazy. And then what really shocked me was I was always under the presumption that swinging that time was literally because the book is called Wife Swapping, right? It's literally like I was under the presumption that it was literally patriarchal men just trading their wives as though they were like
sure,
you drive my car for the weekend and I'll drive yours, so I see how it rides. And what was surprising was, while the statistics definitely skew more towards the male initiating things, a lot of these couples were swinging based on the wife. Actually, this is
shocking.
And then one thing that was funny is one wife literally said she started swinging because there was another housewife she didn't like and she was swinging too.
Oh no!
She didn't want to be left out. It was kind of funny.
Okay.
It was
like keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah, it was looked like I don't want to ruin her good time.
Yeah. It's so funny to think about.
And so she pressured her husband into swinging. It was kind of funny.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was so while it maybe wasn't on equal footing back then, I presumed it was all completely on
It might not
men forcing women to swing back in the in the 60s and 70s, but apparently that wasn't the case, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to know that it wasn't all like that, right? Like,
Yeah, it wasn't the masculine dominance.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which back in, when you look at those eras, you really see a lot of that. That's in between war times. That's the Depression. That's all that. And you think, all right, the man runs the house. The man makes the call. Like that is everything that, like my perception, everything I've ever seen and thought.
Yeah.
That's totally different.
That's just how it is, you know? Mm-hmm. And they were just, like, kept in the house. The women were kept in the house. And then it's like, here you go. But it might not have been all, you know, man-led, right?
No. What's actually interesting is there's also, in part of the survey, they asked women how many times they had an orgasm a week.
Oh, wow.
And I would have presumed it would have stayed close to zero.
Yeah.
You know? Because, like, once again, this, like, you know, women being forced or pressured into doing something they may not necessarily want to do. And, no, their numbers were, like, they averaged from 40 orgasms to, like, 150 orgasms a week is what they're saying. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Because they don't, maybe they just didn't talk about it at that time.
Yeah.
You know? Like
because once again, going back to Pleasantville, the concept of an orgasm was like, it has always been painted as like something foreign to those people.
Yeah.
Back in those times.
You know, I don't know if you remember the movie well, but the first time the one lady has an orgasm, she starts to see the world in color.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right? I think, yeah. And
she's like, oh, I'm like the marked one. And what's that one?
Oh, yeah, she turned into a color.
Yeah.
Who was that?
And that one where she had the letter.
No, Scarlet Letter. Yeah, but
yeah.
Yeah, and again, that is interesting, and as you said, is it just something that wasn't talked about?
Exactly.
You know, was it kept? I mean, again, now in this day and age, it's discretion. You know, yes, we're discreet. Was it so discreet back then that, yeah, you know what, it was kept within your little circle and that was it?
Exactly.
And there was no social media back then. There was nothing. What were you going to do? Pick up the phone and spin the dial and be like, hey, guess what we did yesterday?
Talk to your friend about it. They'd be like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, back then, I mean, like, really, what's funny is that very much was a time where people were living under a guise of paranoia. I mean, you had the Red Scare going on and things like that. So people were much more private, and there weren't as many avenues for people to be
like outlets
discovered. Yeah, like, you know, people didn't publish every little aspect of their lives on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah, so the conversation was with your neighbors.
Exactly.
That was it. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And what kind of conversations were you having if you were banging them?
Yeah.
So this project is really, again, really unique. It really see where it kind of has a fit. I'm sure there's a lot of process and time going into it. You know, from a timeline. Do you have a timeline?
So we're
looking like a big bang.
I think we're looking to probably release the dictionary. So we're actually working on 2 books at the same time.
Because we've been like working on it for a couple of years.
And so part of it is trying to decide how much to weigh down the dictionary with, right?
Okay.
Like with stories and, you know, background and context. And then the other book is going to be much more fully fleshed out, you know, and it'd be kind of like our lifestyle biography as well. So we're trying to figure out how much of what to have in each book.
Okay.
Because we don't want the dictionary just to be just a list of terms either. You know what I mean?
That's kind of boring, you know.
So basically,
But that's going to be the main focus.
That's going to be the main focus, yeah. So that will come out first, and we'll probably have that done by definitely by summertime.
But don't hold us to it.
But don't hold us to it. But like that. So if you pick up that book, for instance, that book will have definitions. It'll have an introduction to etiquette and lifestyle. It'll have where people geographically. So it's based mainly in North America because that's what we know. It'll be like based on where you are, where the best places to
like
find
resources, yeah.
other people and like clubs and groups are. Basically, it's going to be
a quick, easy
how-to guide.
All right.
And then, of course, our second book is going to be like the much more fleshed out, biography, I guess, or autobiography.
Yeah.
All the real dirty shit.
All the real dirty shit, yeah. All the crazy stories we've been collecting over the years.
There's so many.
Of course, changing the names to protect the innocent.
Yeah.
And the not so innocent.
And the nonsense.
There's very few innocent people in it,
No,
actually.
it's
But, I mean, basically, most of the stories are all humorous anecdotes and stuff like that. Nothing too crazy.
There'll be some adventure on there.
Yeah, it's basically just a humorous look at our journey so far. That one we hope to be done with by the end of the year.
Nice.
So we'll see. So the dictionary, which we'll be releasing, we're still deciding what avenues, like as far as publishing to go. I think the dictionary we're actually going to be releasing for free on Kindle, like through KDP, just so as many people as possible can get it in their hands and be able to actually read it and benefit from it, which is our overall goal. Because the more educated people are with respect to this, the easier things become.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you'll definitely have to make sure that we have that link, and we'll share it with the listeners, whether it be on our website, on our social medias. And
Sure.
I mean, get that out there. Again, as much information, as possible. Hey, here it is.
Exactly.
If it can help everybody, then why not have it at your fingertips?
Exactly. Yeah, we will have that to you as soon as possible.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. So, guys, we appreciate this. This was was another great conversation. This project is awesome. Really look forward to seeing it come to fruition. And again, being able to share it with our listeners, with everybody in the lifestyle. Best of luck throughout the as we come into 2024 and party season and hotel takeovers and just everything else you guys got on your plates.
Everything, like it looks like it's going to be an exciting year all around, just for everybody around. We've heard lots of amazing plans from a lot of people. This year's going to be a great one.
Yeah.
Cool. Very good. Well, again, we appreciate the time you took. Great talking to you guys again, and we will definitely keep in touch for sure over the next few coming months.
All right, perfect. Sounds good. I look forward to checking back in.
Yes.
All righty. Take care. Thank you, guys.
Okay.